because Uncle Gayle's going to tell you about the time that he snuck into the NFL draft and almost got himself kicked out.
Yeah, so this draft flip is kind of real. But if you know me, I got a lot of stories. They're most random stories, but as a 17-year-old kid, one of my boys was like, yo, we got to go to the draft. My favorite running back at the time was Marshall Faulk. I'm like, I got to meet Marshall Faulk. So we stayed in the hotel that the NFL draft was actually at. So the night before, there was like a team family dinner gathering. And it was all on the draft floor area. So we're like scouring the elevators, trying to get autographs, meet players. I met Trent Dilfer, Hugh Schuler. He gave me a Bible verse. Aaron Glenn. I finally met Marshall Faulk, got his autograph. I was like, you know,
little Gayle in draft heaven,
beside myself.
Yeah.
So my boy was like, he was a crazy dude. He's like, yo, they're having this dinner thing, and right on the floor over here. We got to get in there. So we're trying to figure out, how do we get in there? Like, how do we get back there? We see these waiters going back and forth through a side door, and he's like, yo, man, let's go. Let's see if we can get some jackets or something, like those white jackets. So my boy, he's like, grab a jacket. So we grab a jacket. We're walking through the kitchen. And then we get on the floor, and we're like, you know, the angels, that sound, you're like, oh. You know, we're on the draft floor. You see the helmets with the phones, and you're like, oh, my God. Like, we're here. And my boy's like, yo, man, keep your composure, man. And then all of a sudden, the security, boom, they grab us. And we're like, hey, and you know, we're these two draft dorks. And they're like running us out through the kitchen. And we're thinking we're going to get, you know, maybe we're going to get arrested or what's going on. And the most random thing happens. We bump into Chris Berman and Paul Tagliabue, who's at the time you know, he was the Roger Goodell.
Back.
So they're just like, and they're kind of drunk.
So Paul Tagliabue and Chris Berman are lit.
Yeah, so Chris Berman's like, hey, what's going on over here? Hey, and we're like, Berman, and the security guys are still holding us.
They got you in like a headlock, or they got you by the scruff of your neck?
They got our jackets, like they're holding on to us and like ushering us out. So then we're like, Chris Berman. He's like, hey, what's going on over here? Hey. And then all of a sudden, the security guard's like, oh, these guys tried to sneak into the draft. We're just trying to get him out of here. And so Paul Tagliabue was like, oh, man, yeah, hey, you got a G on your hat. Yeah, I mean, the G was on there for Gayle. But he's like, oh, you went to Georgetown? I'm like, yeah, I went to Georgetown.
Wait,
like,
so you lied?
Yeah, I lied.
So you lied. All right,
he's like,
okay.
you went to Georgetown. Oh, he's a good kid. You let these guys go. So the security guards let us go. We sit there and talk with Paul Tagliabue. Got his autograph, and Chris Berman. Sitting there chatting with him for like the next 15 minutes. But they were super cool. And thank you, Chris Berman.
So wow, so wait a minute. Did they escort you out after that, or
no? They just let us go and they let us hang out with Chris Berman and Paul Tagliabue.
Did you get to keep the jackets?
Yeah, we had to give the jackets back.